Illuvium aims to be the first AAA Web3 video game studio capable of capturing the attention and engagement of the traditional audience. Indeed, since the advent of the very first blockchain games called Pay to Earn, the sector has suffered from a horrible and justified reputation as a giant Ponzi. We're not going to lie, for now, it's all shit. Illuvium, built on the ETH blockchain via Immutable X, is trying to turn the tide by offering a pleasant and addictive experience with slick graphics and a controlled economy. It all starts in 2021 when three sons of rich people, Kieran, Grant and Aaron Warwick, get bored on their island continent filled with critters, each more terrifying than the other, and decide to team up to piss off their big brother, King Warwick, founder of SNX, in order to fill their inferiority complex by trying to earn more money than him. Kieran, the geekiest of the siblings, shows up one day at a family dinner and throws out the idea of doing it like Axie Infinity but 10x better. Grant doesn't care at first, but Aaron listens to him. The idea at the start was to make a Pokemon-like, but with an economy this time, controlled and deflationary. Aaron is excited about the idea and they both beg Grant to join the project. Indeed, he wants to join, but on one condition, that it be a AAA video game. The foundations are laid, the adventure begins. Let's now look at the background of the brothers. We find ourselves on the official page and we can see that the rather well-stocked team is made up of both handsome kids and strange creatures. Well, we have the CEOs and CFO and CTO with direct links to their LinkedIn. We start with Kieran. We can see that he likes burgers and music, that he has marketing experience but nothing in Web3 or video games. Can Aaron do better? That's it, I click. It's not better. We're trying one last one with John Avery, the CTO. Yes, it's not bad. The CV is rather well filled with some experience in his current field. The thinking heads don't have experience, but they knew how to surround ourselves with people who were quite competent in their field, so we're going to give a 3 out of 5. Wait. No, 4 out of 5.
This is the comedy police. The joke's too funny.
We meet on dropstab.com to see what beautiful capitalists have invested in this project. They have raised $117 million through several rounds of financing from 2020 to 2024. Among them, quite a few top-tier and mid-tier. It's quite varied, nice. We can also see that Framework renewed its confidence by reinvesting $10 million in May 2023 and that there was a final fundraising in March 2024 for $12 million. The DAO had to sell part of its treasury for this, but at the current rate of burn, they should be quiet for 1.5 to 2 years. Note that the game has not yet been officially released but is planned for the end of Q2 of this year. The partners are quite nice. Just the most recent we can cite the top NFT project Pudgy Penguin for their expertise in the creation of plushies, and Samsung, certainly for their cloud gaming service. Wait and see. It deserves a good little 5. In terms of the roadmap and the progress of the project, this is one of the biggest black spots. Initially for the end of 2021, countless deadlines were pushed back. Inexperienced of the head of the project or outright lies, I will let you form your opinion. Still, after 2.5 years of delay, everyone seems extremely confident about the Q2 2024 release. But still, 0 out of 5. It's rather red flag to be so wrong on a roadmap. Illuvium is an interconnected Web3 video game studio that they call IBG for interoperable blockchain games. During its Q2 release, it will be structured around 3 main products, which are the Overworld, the Auto Battler, and Illuvium Zero, a city builder. I'm not going to talk about Illuvium Beyond, which is for the moment just a collectible JPEG album. In the Overworld, you will be able to freely explore 7 huge regions, 3 at the start, to collect useful materials for improving your equipment and hunting Illuvials. Once tortured enough to make them your slaves, you can, like Team Fight Tactics, send them to fight in a PvP or PvE auto battler arena and earn a few coins in the process. Illuvium Zero is a city builder type mobile game which is the economic nerve of the ecosystem. By developing your land, you will be able to produce 3 types of fuel which will have a real value on the marketplace and will be used to craft shards, Pokeball, equipments, and pay for your ticket for a run in the overworld. Please note that almost everything you produce and collect will be an NFT exchangeable on a marketplace. Arena and Overworld will be on the Epic Game Store and Illuvium Zero on PC, Mac, Play Store, and App Store. Regarding NFTs, the supply of alluvials will be deflationary and on a bonding curve. That is to say that the more the community captures, the rarer and more difficult they will be to capture. At the end of Set 1, scheduled to 1 year after the game's release in open beta, it will be impossible to obtain it except by purchasing it from other players on the marketplace. In addition, there is a burn mechanism for these, which means that to make each alluvial evolve towards the upper stage, it will be necessary to burn 3 of the lower stage. Given that there are 3 stages, it will then be necessary to burn 12 NFTs to obtain the last stage of each alluvial family. Adding to this that each alluvial will have its own stats and will also have their rare variation in hollow and ultra rare dark hollow for the rarest. This promises hours of farming for the most determined. The value proposition is unique in the sector and quite promising, 9 out of 10. For tokenomics, the project revolves around 2 tokens, ILV for governance, staking rewards which end at the end of June, and rev shares. Indeed, if you stake your ILVs locked for 1 month to 1 year, you will be eligible for 95% of all revenue generated by the ecosystem, with the remaining 5% reserved for landowners. The longer you lock, the more weight you will have in the rewards. Please note that staking rewards are locked for 1 year after claiming them, but RevDis are not. How can the project be financed? Well, he too holds 1.5 million RevDis shares eligible tokens. ETH entering the ecosystem will allow ILV to be repurchased and redistributed. Given that the cash burn rate is around 1.35 million per month, the ecosystem would need to generate around 6.5 million per month if we reasonably assume that 6 million ILV will be staked for the project to become profitable. For comparison, Gala generated 11 million per month in 2023. The second token is SILV2, used for internal purchases outside of the peer-to-peer marketplace. When you want to claim your staking rewards, you are offered to either convert them to ILV with a 1-year lock or to SILV2 without any lock. As a result, this induces a burn mechanism for the ILV token, because for each SILV2 claimed, it is an ILV that will never be minted. This is why the total supply went from 10 million to 9.5 million. We have a total supply of less than 10 million tokens for a market capitalization of 600K, which makes it a mid-cap with already started potential. If we compare it to the sector leader Gala, which can also be compared to a blockchain video game studio, and we consider that the value provided by Illuvium is equal or even greater, we should have today an ILV at least around $250. Concerning the initial distribution, 5% in pre-seed, 15% in seed having touched the token at $1 and $3, 15% for the team, 30% for yield farming, 10% for the public sale, and 15% for treasury. This distribution seems well balanced between the VCs, the team, and the community. The VCs are gaining rather massively and have already received all their tokens. All that remains is those on the team who will still receive 37.8K tokens every 30th of the month until June 30th, representing a selling pressure of $4 million for a more than sufficient trading volume. Concerning the largest addresses, it is rather well distributed, except for a large whale which still holds 4.19% of the supply. This one seems to behave rather intelligently and takes its profits gradually. But so many tokens in the hands of one person cannot be ignored. So it will be 8 out of 10 for the tokenomics. Concerning the security of the ILV contract, 2 audits highlight that minting tokens is still possible and that developers still have control over it. The smart contract allowed a maximum of 3 million additional ILV to be created over a 3-year period exclusively through yield farming. This functionality makes it possible to adapt the token supply to the needs of the game economy without exceeding the initial final ceiling of 10 million ILV. The decision not to forfeit a token contract may be driven by the desire to maintain active management, enable future updates, and respond flexibly and securely to emerging challenges. For Illuvium, where the token plays multiple strategic roles, maintaining some form of control over the contract helps support the long-term goal of the project. 4 out of 5 for safety. For social metrics, we went from 17K to 385K followers on X in 3 years. The community seems engaged and many content creators regularly cover the news and even organize tournaments. Google Trends shows a stagnating popularity but also a potential for a return to its interesting ADH if the product manages to regenerate the same hype as in 2021. 4 out of 5. In terms of timing, with a planned release at the end of Q2 and a favorable post-halving crypto market, most unlocks completed, almost no competition in the Web3 AAA market, and a massive 200k ILV airdrop to incentivize, it's going to take gameplay to the height to obtain a good retention rate and the addition of frequent content. The launchpad seems solid and the weather is favorable, fingers crossed that it doesn't explode in mid-flight. 5 out of 5 for the timing. Illuvium with a nice 39 out of 50 or 78% opens the ranking and ranks A tier. Tell me if you agree in the comments. See you soon for new project analyses. It was Rocket. Ciao!